Hey guys, Clumsy here and welcome back to ETS2. I know, 2 episodes in 1 week, what's happening? I've been enjoying ProMods so much, I wanted to drive a bit more with you guys today. So let's get started. We are where we left off exactly, we are somewhere in Milano. And I found a job that's going towards the direction we want to go, towards Spain, and that is going to Nice. Carrying 19 tons of peanut butter. Not that long, 327 kilometers. I think it is doable. Very much so. So let's go and pick it up. Oh, it's actually right here already. Interesting. Alright. What is that? I think that's air pressure kind of deal. Probably. But I don't have the air brake simulation enabled because I don't want to get stopped just because I don't have enough air pressure in my truck. So let's just leave it be. It will disappear after a while. Now I am pre-recording this, and yes, you can see the light has disappeared. And it's back because I stepped on the brakes. So I have not been able to read yet your comments for the previous episode because I'm pre-recording this. So I'm not sure if you guys like the idea of the trucker for hire thing, but I'll get to that and I'll try to work on that if there's enough demand on it. That's a bit far. Even it out and then oh my goodness, this is so far away. Make it sharp and then turn it around. Will that work? That's a bit sucky. A bit sucky parking, I must admit. No, I think we're going to hit the wall, but made it just in time. Okay. Not the best parking one can hope for. Hopefully they align us properly when we load up. Someone carries over the truck and makes it even. No one did. No one bothered. You take care of yourself. Okay, let's go. So what time is it? It's actually pretty quick. Loading. Alright, that's fine. 327 kilometers. Let's get going. And we'll do more Q&A episodes in the near future. That is if you guys have more questions for me. So, keep those questions coming. Join the Discord server. Post them in the questions channel. Or if you don't know how to join the Discord server, just post them in the comments. And I will get to them in the next few episodes, hopefully. So last episode we went on the cryptocurrency rant from my end. Michael has another question. Thoughts on AI? Well, not question, but a topic. What are my thoughts on AI? AI usage now and possibly in the future. Oh my goodness, AI is everywhere. It's Skynet. I think that kind of future, if you guys are familiar with that, with the Terminator universe, that future where the AI gets too smart that it tries to get rid of its makers, i.e. us. I think that's a very likely scenario to happen, to be honest. I think it's a very realistic thing that could happen in the future. Hopefully not in the near future, and hopefully not ever, but given how the things are going, I think it's the trend. I think it's the... We have to be very careful, is what I'm trying to say. Because automation, AI definitely has a lot of usage, a lot of benefits, so many benefits that it's a real game changer, especially for businesses. Like if you don't have AI now, or if you're not working on AI, then you are getting behind. And in terms of businesses, you don't want to be behind. Oh, this is nice though. Driving right as the sun is rising. We get to experience the beautiful sunrise, hopefully, right next to a bridge. We'll see. Oh crap. Got caught finally. That cop was right behind us, just waiting for us to make a mistake. Fine. Slow down here. is beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful weather. It is a bit snowy on the road, but it's probably melting. I think we'll be having a sunny day today. Although the moon is still there, if you guys can see. But yeah, I think we'll be having a nice weather. Hopefully, keeping my fingers crossed. So, thoughts on AI? AI usage now and possibly in the future. In our company, where I work full-time as an IT consultant, the trend is going towards automation, AI, machine learning, all that fancy stuff. So getting rid of the human factor, getting rid of the factor of having human error, and automating as much as possible, and making the AI learn about the business, work on its own, remove the manual stuff, lessen the effort needed, all that stuff. And it's a very, very beneficial way of doing things for the company, but it can be a bit risky for people, depending on what line of work you have. If you have work that's very manual, like let's say truck drivers, right? Eventually, AI will be replacing truck drivers. It has started already, right? Give it, 10, 20 years, maybe even less. And maybe we won't even see truck drivers on the road anymore, which is sad. But that's how it is currently. And it makes sense from a cost perspective. From the business side of things, it makes sense. Making machines taking care of the risk, the risk of accidents, the risk of being late, the risk of harm. Putting that on machines instead of on actual people is a very humane thing to do, and at the same time very cost efficient way to do it, because hiring employees is expensive. You need to pay their salaries, of course, but you need to pay their benefits, you need to pay anything that the government mandates, insurance maybe, and you have to keep them happy. There's a lot involved with hiring humans. But if you're able to replace them with robots, machines, AI, and that will be minimal cost. You need to develop the technology, you'll have to maintain it, but the maintenance is almost always cheaper than maintaining an actual human employee. So if the technology becomes so apparent, if the technology becomes so, developed, that AI can replace the manual work, then AI will replace manual work. There's just no comparison in terms of cost about it. So that is the trend, and eventually I think almost all the manual jobs will be replaced by AI or automation. So the manual jobs, the labor jobs, probably will not be very lucrative anymore. So if you're just starting school now, or if you're still in school, if you're not yet working, then this is the perfect time for you to really think about your future. You probably don't want to go into the manual effort side of things that can probably be replaced by AI down the line, 10, 20 years from now. You probably want to get into either you're the one making the AI, so you're like a software developer, a software engineer. In that sense, then you probably will still have a job because you're the one who's taking care of the AI. Or you have a job which is not going to be replaced by an AI anytime soon. Maybe something that AI is hard to replicate, some human factor, I don't know, something that only humans can do. Maybe, I don't know, public relations, something like artsy-fartsy, creative stuff. I'm not sure. Can AI paint? Or, I don't know, graphic designing, website? I have no clue, but that's one thing for you guys to think about. We're going through here? Yeah, okay. Been very slippery all throughout. It's a bit scary. It's really struggling hard to control the truck. Oh, I think we're going to pass through the Genova bridge. Yeah, I think so. That unfortunately was the one that was destroyed late last year, right? Oi, what happened? Huh? It's an 80 driving at 60 and then I got a speeding violation. Maybe there was a single stretch of road that was 50. Speed trap basically. Cheaters. Okay, looks like we have our thumbnail right here. So was this the bridge that got broken? That got destroyed last year? That's so sad. This is a beautiful bridge. Made even more beautiful with these high quality textures. You even have what do you call that? Moss? No, those green algae or something on the middle, on the construction, on the barriers. Concrete barriers. Very beautiful. Very realistic looking, and we definitely have to take a shot. Because this will be the thumbnail right here, I have a feeling. Oh yeah, how can you not make that a thumbnail? Goodness, that looks beautiful. Oh my goodness, yes. We'll take another shot in a bit. Maybe make it wider. Take a shot from here. Oh yes, sirree. Show a bit of the city. Show a bit of the scenery. And the skies as well. It looks a bit empty though, doesn't it? Where's everybody? I guess they're still sleeping. It's still a bit early, I think. Okay. So yeah, that's my advice. But yes, eventually everything will be automated because it's just so much more efficient versus manual effort, versus manual labor. And it's just much more accurate. In my line of job, we've had a lot of incidents where the cause was human error. Someone misclicked something, someone forgot a step, and it caused massive mayhem in the systems. And it's always a big issue. So the trend is to automate those things that can be automated, and more the automation becomes more and more complicated. Before it was just the simple steps. Now they're developing entire systems automatically. So even my line of job is at risk. So I should get more into the AI kind of things, so that even if automation does go into full effect, I would still have a job. Or maybe I become a full-time YouTuber, why not? YouTube is something that will probably not be automated anytime soon. We need the creative juices from the people. But then again, being a YouTuber, not a very lucrative business. Too many YouTubers out there already. And it's a good outlet, but I don't recommend it as your first job. I would recommend getting something outside as your first job, maintaining this as a hobby, and then maybe switching over to it if you find out that you really are liking it and if it's working out for you. But don't just do this, because working outside is very essential, I would say, in developing your business acumen. Your work ethics is the more accurate word. So if you just start off with YouTube, you don't get the best practices from the corporate world. So I would suggest getting a job outside for a couple of years. Maybe starting this as a hobby on the side if you can make time for sure, if you really like it. And then switch over if that's what you want. But for me, I'm not sure if that's something I want. I mean, I would want it if money is not an object, but if I need YouTube and Twitch to survive, I'm not sure if I can do it in terms of getting enough money. Right now, Of course, yeah, for sure not. But even if money were not an object, or even if money was possible to get through YouTube and Twitch, will you still enjoy it as much? That's what you can ask. Because if you make something into your job, sometimes the fun goes a bit out of it. Like if you just have YouTube as an outlet, you just want to share stuff, then that's something. It's a hobby. But if it's something that you rely on to really live and make money, then there will be some kind of pressure in it. And if you add that pressure, sometimes it takes away the fun. So it depends on how much you like something. That even if you add that pressure of needing to survive with it, will you still enjoy it? That's something you have to ask yourself, and that's something you have to discover on your own. For me, I haven't found the answer yet, but I'm thinking maybe not. So I think I like this as a hobby. I don't know. Who knows? Things change. People change. But for now, it's not viable for me anyway, so this is a hobby. And how did you get to YouTube? Coming from AI? Wow, that's a big leap. Anyway, so that's my answer there. Thanks a lot, Michael. Very nice questions. Very thought-provoking. And then we have another question from Shashlik King. What type of accent sounds best to you? Ah, interesting. I love accents. I love accents. You know, wow. Very nice. Italian police car. So I've been speaking about this often because I myself have a very strong accent, as you guys might have noticed. Very strong Filipino accent. And I've spoken about this topic quite a bit before, but I'm going to repeat my view on accents in general first. I love accents. Accents give you personality. Accents are nothing to be ashamed about. You should flaunt your accent. You should be proud of your accent. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, don't try to get rid of it. Don't try to sound American. Don't try to sound British, or don't force yourself to sound something like you aren't. Like, stick to your accent, stick to your natural thing. Just make sure to pronounce words correctly and follow as long as you pronounce words correctly. If you have an accent, then that's fine. But it gives you personality, and I know a lot of people like the different accents. Like my accent, I've had a couple of folks commenting that they love my accent, and in the Philippines, you wouldn't really hear that. In the Philippines, Filipino accent English is very frowned upon. It's a sad thing, but yeah, it's like if you have a Filipino accent like mine, people tend to consider you as you're not a good English speaker. Yeah, because in the Filipino mind, we are very, very colonial. We have a very colonial mentality because we've been under so many different countries during the war times. So I think it kind of got ingrained to us, and even myself, I have to consciously get rid of that colonial mentality until now. But I knew it. So many Italian cops around, just waiting for me to make a mistake, and that happens very often. So in the Philippines, because of colonial mentality, the normal or the most common sentiment is if you want to speak in English, you have to have an American accent. We have a very colonial mentality towards Americans. So we have anything American, people like in general. So of course not everybody, and I think the trend is starting to break, thankfully. But yeah, we are very much fans of the US. So it's everyone wanted to migrate to the US to live lives there. Until now, I think a lot of people want it, and it's because everyone looks up to the US. And so even the accent, people like to have American accents, that slang, that twang, and they try and get rid of their Filipino accent, and some don't have it to very good effect. But for me, I never got that feeling. I never got that inclination to remove my accent. Because I didn't like forcing myself to have a different accent. Except maybe if you're an actor, then you need it. But naturally, I wanted to stick to my accent, like this one. It's a very strong Filipino accent, if you're wondering what it is. And many Filipinos have this kind of, maybe we sound alike to you. That's how it is to me sometimes. Like Polish accent is very distinct for me. Their English is very good, but I have a hard time distinguishing the different people who are talking because they have very similar accents. And it's not bad, but yeah, I love it. I love having different accents all over the world, even if we are all like, even if you know how to speak English. The accents give you personality, so don't ever be ashamed of it. Be proud of it, flaunt it. Yeah, that's my comment about it. But as to my favorite accent, it's a hard one. Because on one point, the French accent is very nice to hear, but sometimes it's kind of difficult as well, depending on the almost hit that. Depending on the how strong the accent is. But I guess my favorite would be the British accent. I don't know. There's just something so regal and so sophisticated about a British accent. And I think it's easy to make British accent, a British person just speaking normally, to make it sound so cool, sound so sophisticated. And anything they say can sound correct just because it sounds so good. That's my personal view. It's not like I want to have a British accent though, just because like I mentioned, I'm proud of my own. But just hearing something, the British accent I think has an up versus everybody else. They have that built-in posh. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how else to describe it. But yeah, that's my favorite accent. To be fair though, I love hearing all the different accents as well. And I like playing that game of like, oh, where could he be from? I absolutely suck at it, but where could he be from? Somewhere in Europe. That's as detailed as I can go usually. In the US, no clue. Like maybe if I asked like a Southern American accent, maybe I would know. But other than that, on which part of the US, I'm not that good. They say people from the US know if they hear someone from there, they know from which area in the US, which state or which general area a person is from based on their accent. I can't do that except for maybe Southern accent, which is very distinct to me. I'm more of an expert when it comes to Asian accent though. Like when I hear someone, an Asian, speak English, I would have an idea if they came from China, if they came from Thailand, Vietnam maybe, but Thailand and China very distinct. Singapore of course, because I live here. So Singaporean accent is very different from Chinese accent. Even though most of the people here speak Chinese, still the accent is different. And it's very, very interesting how that is. Like even if their main language is Mandarin, same as in China, they have very different English accents. I don't know why. Maybe it's the education that was the English subjects in Singapore are very different from how they learn English in China, maybe. Oh, that was very close. We almost hit that car. Let's take this space. That was a very short drive. I wanted to talk more. I wanted to drive more. Hopefully we have an episode again in the near future. But yes, I love hearing the different accents of the people. Although at some point, if it's too hard an accent, it kind of gets difficult to understand. That's always the problem. But I mean, in general, yeah, as long as the accent is not too strong for me, and of course everyone has different like tolerances. Everyone has everyone can understand accents differently. So, and it's a matter of getting used to it. You just need exposure. Where the heck is the line? Oh, it's there. Okay, right beside this trailer. Okay. I remember telling this story before. When I first started working in my company, the company where I'm still at right now, like 11 years running. Yeah, I'm a unicorn. No one ever stays in their company anymore, right? Like in my batch, I'm the only one left. But yeah, so in my company, when I first started, we had this boss who came from Turkey. So I assume he had a Turkish accent. Even though he was living in France, I think he still had a Turkish accent. And I absolutely could not understand him. He had like the strongest accent I've ever heard. And because I was fresh out of the university, I was not really exposed to like international things. Like I mostly talked with Filipinos until then. So I was not familiar with different accents and I could not understand him at all. At one point he was speaking. Well, I didn't know he was speaking, honestly. I thought he was just coughing or something over the conference call. So he was... In my ears he was coughing, but to everybody else he was asking a question already and they were like, oh, then they were answering. I was like, what? Did he say something? Or I thought he was just coughing. But eventually as time passed by, let's go to the mechanic just to prolong the episode. Okay, let's lift those axles, both trailer and truck axles. Look at that, this is interesting. The tag is lifted. That is supposedly lifted, but something is wrong with the dimensions here. Maybe the trailer is too heavy. If I move, it actually still moves. The back axle, look at that. It's kind of still snag it at times. I think this tag is not the best setup. I might have to change it. But yeah, accents. I love accents. And thank you for bringing that up, Shashlik. One accent that I really have a hard time placing, and I think I mentioned this on one stream before, and sorry, I don't mean any offense about this, but I'm just very ignorant and my ears are not trained enough. I have a hard time distinguishing British and Australian accent. Like if I'm hearing actors speak in their natural accents, because actors are very good. They can get rid of their accents without a trace. They're so good. Like I think Hugh Jackman is one example. Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, right? Wolverine, Greatest Showman. If he speaks on camera in the movies, he can have like an American accent, but I think he has an Australian accent. I think he's from Australia, right? Can't remember exactly, but I think so. Same with Nicole Kidman, I believe. So they can get rid of their accent, but their natural accent when they're speaking to like interviewers, to media, their natural way is the Australian accent. And I could not place it. Like I was like, isn't that British? So if you guys have tips for me in like distinguishing those two, let me know, okay? Maybe one says maybe I can distinguish mainly by because someone would say mate more often. G'day mate. But if they don't say it, I probably cannot distinguish. So help me out, okay? Help me out. Nices has always been a great location. One of the scenic spots in here. I've always wanted to do jobs here. Pick up jobs, deliver jobs here. Very nice. It's very chill. And it's right off the highway there, so it's easy access. perfect timing for the traffic light. We don't get that often. I'll take it. But yeah, accents are a wonderful thing. Don't ever be ashamed of it. That's my recommendation. And yeah, I really hope, to my fellow countrymen, I really hope we get over that hump. I really hope that we get over that colonial mentality of trying to get rid of our accents just to speak better English, quote unquote. I mean, we can speak perfect English and still keep our accent. I have no doubt about that. Because if you are like ashamed of your accent, but like you love accents of other people, like for example, you hate your accent, your own, but you love like French accent, what does that say about you, right? Like, how unfair is that? That other people can get to keep their accent and it sounds sexy, it sounds cool, but you can't keep yours? No, it has to be equal. Has to be, if you can keep your accent, then I could keep mine. And we should be proud of ours, our own. That's my view in it. Always has been. And I really hope people take that up more, especially my countrymen. Alright, we're here. And I have no more excuse. I really have to end the episode. But thank you for sticking through with me. Hopefully you enjoyed that Q&A. Enjoyed that bit of driving. I surely did. And the weather is perfect. Almost sunset though in a bit. So just in time to end the episode. Thank you for watching, guys. If you did like this video, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button, comment, share with your friends, all that stuff. Till then, this is Clumsy signing off. I'll catch you in the next episode. Clumsy Trucking, and bye-bye.